Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualist, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now, below this video. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bowman, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. These are real life stories. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. So in this episode tonight, this episode came about in response to one of my very, very biggest fans called Heather. And I did a video a couple of days ago about not caring what other people think, and about, going through life and stopping worrying about what other people think. And one of the questions Heather asked me in the comments was how to reassure yourself. So basically, how to reassure yourself that you're doing the right thing, that you're on the right path, you're capable of, not caring what people think. So how do you reassure yourself? And that's what I wanted to do a special video on tonight. Okay, so first of all, you have to tell yourself positive self-talk every single day. It's not easy being in this world, right? There's so many decisions to make. There's so many people involved in your life, in the world, in the universe and the planet. There's so many people, right? But when it comes down to it, you live and you die with yourself, right? So you have to make the decision of what's right for you in your life. No one else can make that decision for you, okay? You may make a mistake. You may go wrong. But to me, there are no mistakes in life. There are only lessons we learn from and challenges that we overcome. So if you stop thinking about making mistakes and start thinking about those challenges in life that you will gladly overcome, then your mind will be a lot better because you'll have no fear. You'll know it doesn't matter what you do. You can't go wrong. You can't make any mistakes because they're just lessons that you learn from in life. So just remember that motto. There are no mistakes in life, just lessons you learn from. You have to believe that everything happens for a reason. So you have to reassure yourself that it doesn't matter what the outcome is, what happens in your life, everything that happens in your life was meant to happen. Even the things that you don't like as much, they're all meant to happen. They're all meant to teach us lessons. They're all meant to put us on the right path to where we are meant to be going. You have to look for evidence in the past of having made decisions in your life and made good decisions. You have to reassure yourself, I make good decisions. You have to put positive affirmations in place as well on a daily basis. So if you've never heard of positive affirmations, they are statements you say to yourself out loud, and you say them ideally in the mirror until you get them wired into your brain, into your subconscious, and they become true. So I say to myself, I feel good today. I feel happy. I feel pleasure. I feel safe. I have faith. I feel amazing. I feel elated. I feel happy. And the more I say that every day, the more I feel it, the more I believe it, the more I become it. So I truly am happy these days. I get out of bed and I'm thinking, I love life. I love my flat. I love my home. I love my beautiful life. You have to always be grateful for what you have and just think you have survived and come this far in life. That is huge. You have to think about every obstacle you've overcome in your life, even the things that you felt were really impossible to overcome, the desperate situations you're in, the trials, the tribulations, the big events that happen in your life that you thought, what the heck am I going to do? I just don't know what to do. And you're panicking. Even those ones you overcame because you're here now, sat in front of me, right, watching this video. If you hadn't overcome stuff in life, then you wouldn't be here right now. So you have to reassure yourself that you've overcome obstacles before in your past. You've overcome challenges, and you can and you will do it again. so you can move forward with less fear in your life. This is how you reassure yourself. You look for evidence in your life to suggest that you've overcome problems before, you've overcome issues before, you've overcome adversity, you've overcome challenges, you've overcome obstacles, so that it doesn't matter what happens in the future, you know you can do that again. You have to have positive self-talk, like I've just said as well, affirmations. You have to be telling yourself you're beautiful, you're marvelous, you're wonderful, you're great, life is awesome. You know, if you start saying this stuff, it's hard to think bad if you keep saying this stuff repetitively to yourself. You know, my life is awesome, my life is great, my life is wonderful. I love my home, I love my flat, I love my family, I love my guinea pig, Angel, she's amazing. I love my friends, I love everyone who watches this channel. I love you all, you're incredible, you know? And once you start saying all this stuff, you can feel yourself becoming more related, yeah? So you must take as many actions and steps to reassure yourself as possible. You know, no one knows the outcome of everything, right? But if we keep living in fear all the time, we never get anywhere in our lives. We don't overcome any challenges, we don't do anything, we just stagnate and we get bored, really. You will get bored even if you don't realise it. You know, why waste your life away not moving with passion and enthusiasm and trying new things in life? Why? It's not going to change. Your life is not going to alter in any way unless you alter it. You know, you either have to be happy with the way things are and love life just as it is, or you have to change it. You have two choices. You can't stay stagnating and be miserable in your life. That's no use to you. It's no good to anyone else. It's just rubbish. So you have to either accept things and love things exactly how they are, or you have to commit to changing yourself or your circumstances. It's as simple as that. You have to do it. You know, and the way that you move forward is by looking for evidence that you've come this far. You're alive, aren't you? You've looked after yourself for all these years. You are who you are. You're in your body. You've done things. You've had jobs. You've met people. You've had some sort of relationships. Even if you've not been in a relationship, you've had friendships. You've met people. You've been in some. You've had some sort of relationship to people. And you've survived and thrived and come this far. You've overcome all those challenges and obstacles in your life. And you should be saying to yourself, well done, and praising yourself. That way you reassure yourself that you can tackle things in life, that you can overcome adversity, that it doesn't really matter what those people said to you in your life or what people think of you, because you still overcame it. You can be guaranteed in your life there's going to be someone somewhere who doesn't like you, who says things that is not nice about you or to you. But have you let them stop you living? No. Have you let them stop you doing things? No. Why would you? Why should you? You know, someone once told me that what other people think of you is not your business. Let me repeat that. What other people think of you, yourself, is not your business. Meaning, it doesn't matter what other people think of you. Let them chat, and if that's what they've got nothing better to do with their life, just talk about you. You know, let them get on with it. Don't worry about it. Just concentrate and focus on yourself and your own life. You know, it's hard, but the more that you do stuff on your own, the more you break away from the chains and from the people that are dictating to you in life, that are trying to control your life, that are trying to manipulate you, the people that are trying to be horrible to you, or the people that are trying to push you to do what they want to do. The more you get away from those people, the more you break free, the more confident you'll become in yourself. So you only get confidence by being competent in something. You only get competent in something by practicing it, by doing it yourself over and over again. It's like if you're in a job, if you got your supervisor with you constantly and you're always asking for their help all the time, unless you try and figure things out on your own, you will never become competent in that. You'll always rely on that person, right? If what you're doing is too difficult and you can't cope on your own and you need your supervisor there all the time with you, then maybe it's not the right type of job for you to be in anyway. Or maybe you just haven't had the training you need. So therefore, they haven't given you the respect and care and attention you need, and it hasn't fulfilled your needs. Maybe it's not the path you're meant to be on, so you can move on. But you must reassure yourself that you've done things before in your life. You've come through adversity. You've come through challenges. You're still alive. You're still breathing, which proves beyond a shadow of a doubt beyond a shadow of a doubt, because you're still stood here, listening to me, watching me, that you can overcome any obstacles in your life. You've overcome challenges, you've overcome obstacles, you've gone and done things in spite of fear, haven't you? And you've sailed through them in the end. You've come through. You might be a bit bashed or scathed or scratched, or you might be a new lease of life, a new person because of it, and so much more confident because of it. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. So you've just got to reassure yourself, using the evidence of your past and your present, that you are fine. You make good decisions. You can decide things for yourself. You're a competent person. You can get through anything in life. Anything life throws at you, you can handle, right? You know, I still push myself to push through my fears. I have more fears that I have to push through this year. I have to push through them. I know one specific fear that I have to push through, you know, which is kind of like a bittersweet fear, because I've got a new fibro book coming out and I need to do a Facebook ad for it. And I've never done a Facebook ad in my life. I've read about it. I've learned about it. I've heard about it. I've got people who are my friends that do them. I've never actually done an advert. I've done no adverts for asexual stuff whatsoever. But with my fibro book, I've already got people who want to buy it, who are my friends, some of which are asexual, some of which aren't. And, you know, I've got to do thanks for the thumbs up again. Appreciate that. And I've got to do a Facebook ad and I've got to push myself to do it. But it's not going to be any ad. No. It's going to be a good ad. It's not going to be a normal ad. Do I do normal? No. So I have to be really bold and brave to do what I'm going to do. Yeah. But I need to do it. And that's hard. But I'm declaring it publicly because I think that if you declare something publicly, you're more likely to do it. And I'm scared, but I'm also excited at the same time. So, you know, I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I have ideas in my head about how I'm going to do it, but I haven't even got everything ready for it yet. So yeah, I'm kind of excited and scared at the same time, but we have to in life push for our fears and do things that get us out of our comfort zone, because if we don't do it, we won't grow and stretch ourselves. And if we don't grow and stretch ourselves, we won't be as confident in ourselves. The only way we get more confident is by pushing through our fears, by stretching our boundaries, by pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. Only when you push yourself out your comfort zone do you make great leaps and strides in your life. And the more you push yourself out your comfort zone, the more reassurance you have in yourself. Like, gosh, if I can do this, then I can do this now, because this isn't as bad as what I've just done. This isn't as scary as what I've just done. Right? And then when you do this other thing, you're like, oh my goodness me, I did it. Like, what more can I do? And sometimes I know specific entrepreneur I follow, and he says that once you get into the realm of pushing all through your boundaries, fears, and comfort zone, you kind of get a bit addicted to it, because you're like, well, what now can I do? If I could do that, which I didn't think I could do, and I pushed through it and did it, what now can I do? What more can I do? And that's how you grow competency and confidence. Confidence and competency, they go hand in hand. So you have to practice something to be more competent at it, to grow your confidence, which means you're going to have to do things in your life that you're not confident about doing in the first place. You know, it's like in my fibro book. It's suitable for a lot of people who haven't got fibro. It literally will teach you, show you, explain to you how to have less pain in your life. It actually goes through 25 aspects of a person's life, of a fibro person's life, and how to reduce the pain in all of those 25 aspects of your life. You know, and many of the techniques and things I teach can apply to other people that suffer with depression, anxiety, worry, because I cover all those in the book. I cover confidence, how to be more confident. I cover how to overcome depression. I cover how to worry less and have less anxiety. There's a lot of life skills that I'm teaching in this book. This book is revolutionary in terms of fibromyalgia, because people don't teach this stuff. I know this stuff because I've learned it over the years in personal and professional development. I'm not here to pop another pill in someone's arsenal. I'm here to show you how to have less pain, more energy, and be happier in life without any pills. That's what my fibro book's about. And yes, it is geared towards people who have fibro because of all the problems we have. And specifically, I don't have as many as other people because I do a lot of stuff to make sure I don't, to decrease my pain as much as possible, to have more energy, to be happier, which is what the three main problems are with fibro people. The pain they have is horrendous usually, and that's the result of lots of swelling. I teach people how to reduce the swelling naturally, so it's just a really, really good book. It's an autobiographical book, so other people can get it because they can read like parts of my life story in it. Like even my parents are like, this is your life story, and that's what I like to do in my books. I like to put my own story into it, my own autobiography, so not only will it help people, they can read about my life, and I hope to inspire some people. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, it's very scary, but it's also very exciting as well. So so keep pushing through your comfort zone, because the more you push through your comfort zone and try new things and do new things, the more it will reassure you that you make good decisions, that you can get through anything. Oh, you're welcome, Heather. I'm glad you liked it. I wanted to do this video especially for you because I said in the beginning of this video, I don't know if you heard me in the beginning, that I wanted to help you because you asked me the question, didn't you, about how to reassure yourself. And so I want to go into a bit more detail here. And I know you're like my biggest fan at the moment, I think, on this channel, and I love you to bits and I want you to be happy. And it's really important that I teach you guys some of this stuff, because obviously I talk a lot about asexuality, but a lot of asexuals, they have problems with, I know you're not asexual, you've said before, but you support this channel, but a lot of asexuals, they do have problems with confidence, self-esteem, depression, anxiety, worry, confidence, competency. They have, sometimes guys find needy. Do you mean you find guys sometimes needy, or they find you sometimes needy? Which one do you mean? Because I've heard of women who think guys are needy and guys who think women are needy. So which do you mean, Heather? Guys find you needy? Oh, well, I think you're lovely. I think you're a gorgeous person. I love your personality. I mean, I wouldn't really worry about it, to be honest. I mean, the thing is, those guys who think you're needy, at the end of the day, they aren't the right people for you anyway to be with. A guy who, you need to find a guy who's like you, who wants the same things as you. Do you know what I mean? Because like, if I have a guy, right, that I'm interested in, and I need to talk, I'm a person who, in a relationship, right, likes a lot of communication. I like regular contact with my guy. I like him to be messaging me daily, in the morning ideally, at night would be good, before he goes to sleep. I like that. Some people might say that's needy, right? That's my needs. I need that in a relationship, but to a guy who doesn't like that, he would call that needy. However, the same guy that would call me needy, once he fell in love with a woman, he wouldn't use the word needy, because he would be wanting to message her pretty much all the time. He'd want her in his life. He'd want to be having loads of communication with her. It's because I'm not the right person for him. That's why. Like, I've got best guy friends, right? And they message me a lot of times throughout the week. They don't message me necessarily every day, but as a boyfriend, I would expect in my relationship needs and expectations, for example, which I would want at least as much, like messaging as they do, but more, because he would be my boyfriend, so I'd be more intimate with him. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's very difficult because there are also women that call guys needy, because guys that message loads, they are seen as needy. But I think it's difficult because people do have different needs. And I think it's okay to want regular contact with someone if you like that. And I think a real relationship, if you're living together, you speak to each other, or you should speak to each other every day. You see each other every day. You be together every day. So I don't see how that's any different when you don't live with each other. In fact, you're not seeing each other as much, so you've got more space. But some guys don't like that, whereas others do, you know? So I think, you know, like, I think some women can be seen as needy if we want contact with a guy a lot, if we you know, that type of thing. But I think that if the guy is feeling or saying that, then I don't think he's the right type of person for you. You know, because we all have different needs and expectations and standards. There's nothing wrong with you having standards. I used to get this confused, you know. I used to think that if I want this, that, and the other, it's bad of me, because like guys that, you know, like can say about being needy, but actually you have high standards. Why would you want a guy who's flaky, who only speaks to you like once every 3 days? That is actually known as a minimum investment guy and a flaky guy. Someone who comes along and every few days he'll like message you and then never, you maybe message you several times a day and then never hear from him again for 3 days, and then he's back on for 3 days and off for 3 days. You don't want someone like that in your life. They're flaky guys, minimum investment. They only want you when they want you, right? So they're actually bad guys, these guys that start doing that. So a lot of society teaches things very wrongly. You know, they teach, they have this portrayal of guys saying stuff to women. And I, you know, like in the past I thought, well, maybe I'm in the wrong, maybe but I found out, no, I have to have high standards, and I need to have high standards, because if I don't, the guy will walk all over me. He won't match my needs. Guy coach, yeah, he won't match my needs, and he'll be no good for me. And so during the time that I've been watching dating coaches, which is over 2 years, I think it is now, is it? Or is it 1.5 years? Is it last year I started watching dating coaches, or the year before? It might have been last year, I don't know. Or was it the year before? I've been watching them for quite a long time now, and I follow certain coaches regularly. I follow one coach, and he is really, really good, you know. But I've learned over the time of watching all these dating coaches that if a guy really, really loves someone, he'll do anything for his woman. He will literally move countries to be with her if it's really true. Categorically love the person, can't be without them, need to be with them type love, you know, in a most health, you know, without meaning to sound like it's unhealthy, you know, but in the way that, you know, they want someone, a guy. I mean, I even know a guy in real life, offline, who told me the truth. He's foreign. I do get on well with him. He's married, and he said it is absolutely true. If a guy loves you, he will literally up and move to be with you. You know, because he's done it before in his past. You know, so you know, he said, you know, that these guys who give excuses about, oh, I can't come over in your country, or I can't get over there, or I can't do this, that, and there. It's just excuses, you know. So nowadays, if there's a guy abroad, I just tell them, I'm like, well, I'm looking for someone in this country. You're not in this country, so it's not like we're going to have a relationship, is it? You know, so I don't even entertain guys anymore from abroad, which is a bit weird for me, because I used to all the time, but now I don't. I'm thinking there's no point. If all of them have made their mind up that none of them can get over here without a visa, and that requires marriage, which means they just want a marriage of convenience to get a visa, they're not having it. So now I just give up on that, people abroad. I think I don't want someone abroad. I want a guy in this country, so I focus on getting a guy in this country if I can get a guy who's right for me. But you know, I mean, it's very difficult, Heather. The whole dating relationship thing is very difficult, you know. I mean, obviously I'd say focus on your own things, but I mean, I know what you're like. You're very creative, you do artwork, you do your own stuff. You know, you're not needing, you know, you're not being needy with a guy where you haven't got things in your life that you do. You know, so I just think that guys are being rude when you say, I just don't think they're the right people for you. If you get a guy who really respects you, wants you in his life, enjoys your company, then he'll be wanting to communicate with you and talk with you and have you in his life. You know, I know from being friends with you on Facebook that you lots of artwork, that you're very intelligent, you're a very creative person. It's not like you haven't got stuff going on in your life, because obviously that's the thing I would say to anyone is if you know, if you're not got stuff in your own life, then you could end up being seen by someone as so needy if you haven't got stuff that you're doing in your own life, you know, that you got your own interests, hobbies and stuff. But I know, Heather, you definitely have, like I have. And sometimes, like, I do like a lot of communication, and sometimes some guys could find that needy, but it actually is a relationship need of mine, not me being needy. It's something that's a standard of mine. I expect and want and need a guy to communicate with me a lot in relationship. You know, otherwise, what's the point? I may as well just stay single because I talk to myself more. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? You know, what in earth is the point? You know, I don't like it as well where there's this huge stigma in life, right? That I don't think it's so much in the asexual community, but especially in the heterosexual world. It's like if a guy has a best guy mate and they spend loads of time with each other, it's fine, right? Never seen as needy, never seen as claustrophobic, never seen as weird. They could even be called as having a bromance in a jokey way, right? And they love it, they lap it up, right? A woman and a woman spends a long time together as best mates. They're in each other's houses every day. They're spending loads of time together, going on holiday together, having girly nights out. Nothing said about that, right? Everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, a guy gets a girlfriend. It's, oh, you're under the thumb because you're spending a lot of time with your girlfriend. It's like, no, your guys are just feeling the guys are feeling like needy, you know. They're like, why, you know, the guys are thinking, why are you spending more time with your woman? We don't see you as much anymore, we don't see you like we used to, you know, and we want to be seeing you. So they put that on the guy to make him feel bad, so he stops seeing his woman as much, to make him feel like he's a man and still in with the crowd. You know, what the guy should be doing is spending quality time with his woman, setting aside a time for his woman, and still seeing his friends at the same time, but telling his friends, you know, I've got a girlfriend now, so of course I'm going to be spending less time with you, but I'm still going to be spending time with you as well. You know, that's a sensible adult thing to do. But in the heteronormative, heterosexual world and the world at large, it's seen as under the thumb a lot of the time. If a guy's got a woman and he's spending a lot of time with her, but in reality, you know, if that woman is not his best friend, meaning he would want to spend lots of time with her, would want to be spending, you know, great lengths talking to her, going out with her, socializing with her, being with her, then, you know, if he hasn't got that foundation of friendship, he doesn't want to do that, then what's the point? What's going to hold them together in the future? You know, if he doesn't want that, then he should stay single. You know, it requires, you know, like, both people have to have time and space to see their own friends, but they should also be communicating this to their partner. They should be saying, hey, darling, honey, I'm going out with the guys, or I'm going out with the women this weekend. Just thought I should let you know. You know, I'll catch up with you later on tonight, or message, you know, they can still message the girlfriend in the morning, say, hey, honey, going out with the lads tonight, love you, miss you, have a good day, something like that. You know, there's no reason for them not to, because if you were living together, you would be saying stuff like, be going out the door, giving them a kiss goodbye, saying that, you know what I mean? It's normal, it's natural life. But for some reason, there seems to be a huge stigma about men and women together in relationships, whereas, like I said, two guys can be together nearly every night of the week and spending loads of times eating, drinking together in the pub for hours, 4 or 5 hours at a time. No one says them you're a thumb. He needs to stand up to his friends. At the end of the day, Heather, if the guy, yeah, are you talking about what I'm saying, or are you talking about your situation? But yeah, a guy needs to stand up to his friends. If he can't stand up to his friends, he's a weak guy, you know. And if he's a good quality guy and got good quality friends, he shouldn't even need to stick up to them, in the sense that the friends should just accept the fact that, yeah, you're going to be seeing us a bit less now because you've got a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you know. So you do get a lot of, that's why I don't like a lot of macho guys, you know. A lot of macho guys will be like, oh, I'm off down the pub with my mates, you know. For one, I don't like a drinking from a guy, and two, it's like this macho thing where it separates you from them. You know, the guy doesn't really tell you much about himself, doesn't tell you much secrets, doesn't share much of his life with you. You don't really know him, you don't know what, you know, like, although you don't need to know every move of your partner, you need to have your own breathing space. You kind of should know in a relationship roughly what your, if it's a long-term committed relationship, like kind of what's going on in your partner's life. They should be wanting to share their life and world with you. They should be wanting to, like communicate with you. Like I've got one of my best, I've got a best asexual friend. He's coming to see me soon. Bless him. And I've got another best friend, and the guy who's my other best friend, he like me and him like share all our secrets together and things like that, and have that really deep emotional connection. And that's the type of relationship, that's the type of deep friendship connection I'd like with a guy. I don't want a macho guy in the sense of the disconnect between me and their life. I find that a lot of macho guys, they tend to know about your life, but they don't tend to share much of their own. I like a good guy that will be my bestest ever friend, that will say, hey, I had a great weekend. This is what I did over my weekend. Not because I asked him, but because he just told me. Like I said, one of my my friends, like my best guy friends, they kind of just tell me what they're doing. I don't have to even ask them, although I do ask as well, to be polite and to be kind and take an interest, obviously, and I do ask them some questions, but they'll kind of just tell me what's going on in their life. So it's kind of like I feel like I'm a part of their world, even if I don't see them in person for quite a long time, or even if they don't message me for a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like I know what's going on in their life. Like a guy who says he's interested in me romantically, for example, or a relationship with me of some sort, and then he can't even be bothered to share his life and world and tell me his secrets and stuff. It's like, well, no, you really don't. This is just an artificial relationship or friendship. This is just one of those friendships that's not that close. It's never going to be unless you change or develop it in some way, because the difference between a deep emotional connection, a friendship, or more than a friendship, and just an ordinary friendship is my ordinary friends, they might tell me a little bit about what's going on in life, but a lot of the time they don't. It's just be general chit chat. Whereas a deeply emotional connected person, they will say to me, hey, over the weekend I did so and so, how did your weekend go? Or tell me how this went in your life at the moment. I know you were doing this, working on this. How did that meetup go? How did that book writing go? They will take a genuine interest in you and your life. I find that if you're always the one sharing your secrets with them and they're not doing that with you, I find it's unreciprocated. It's not good. I find that if it really is like one-sided, and I don't want that anymore in my life. I think I may as well just talk to myself and date myself. I mean, to be honest, lately in terms of relationship, I'm better off just dating myself, engaging in conversation. Yes, Heather, I think all guys, if you're going to have a relationship with someone, you should be engaging in conversation. You should be sharing stuff about your life with the other person, not expect the person to be grabbing at them all the time. Because you see, I think a lot of the time when people are seen as needy, yes, you can get certain situations, I guess, where some people can be needy, but you have to ask yourself, why is that person behaving that way or feeling that way, or why is that person thinking that person's needy? Because it stems from the relationship they have with themselves and others. Like I said, I don't think the guys that think you're needy are right for you, Heather. For a start, that isn't very nice. How can you possibly be with a guy who says you're needy? You can't. That's like horrible. You can't be close to a guy like that, because they're not right for you. So I would just say forget any guys who say you're needy. I would just say forget them. Reflect on your own life, reflect on their comment, and then if you think it's ridiculous, just leave it and think, well, what they mean to say is they don't want you at this point in their life. That's what they mean to say. And they're just being horrible, to try and put you down. It's not nice, I've had some guys say they're needy. And one of the guys that called me, well, they didn't call me needy to my face. They called me needy after I split up with them. They told someone else that I was too needy because I wanted to hold their hand all the time. But I'm huge that this was a heterosexual person I dated a couple of years ago. I've mentioned him before on this channel. He told someone else that I dumped him, as in I split up with him, when we weren't ever in an official relationship in the first place, because he wouldn't have an official relationship with me. So that made me laugh in the first place. I'm like, I dumped you, did I? That's nice to know. We weren't even in a relationship, but thanks, you know? And this is what they told. They didn't. This was a guy who actually ended up having a blade on him. So I told the person in there. I said, "Oh, did he tell you what really happened when he's saying I was needy and that and that's." He said I was needy. He said to this guy that I was needy because I was wanting to hold his hand all the time. Yet I dumped him from a relationship he was never in with me. I said, "Oh," and I told the guy. I said, "Do you want to know what really happened?" I said, "He had a blade on him. Did he tell you about that?" He's like, "No." I said, "Exactly." So, you know, that's what he's really like. You know, these guys, they just make up rubbish. They make up rubbish to save their own ego, you know? He was like mad at the fact I dumped him. I wasn't even in a relationship. I told him that I won't be, you know, that I can't date him anymore. I was dating him. I said I can't date him anymore because obviously when he got a blade confiscated from him when we went away and we were clubbing and the security guards found a blade on him, I was quite scared for my life, obviously. So I'm not gonna but I had to get back home in his car and stuff and spend time with him still. So that was quite a difficult situation to be in. But I managed it. I got through it, and yeah. So and he wasn't going to do anything towards me. He told me. So that was one thing that was good. And so you know, and so yeah. So obviously that guy was not good for me, but he didn't tell the other person that. He made out that I was the problem, not confessing to the guy what he's really like, a psycho. You know, that's what he's really like, a psycho. So you have to understand there are a lot of manipulators in the world. There are a lot of manipulators. There are a lot of psychopaths. There are a lot of sociopaths. There are a lot of narcissistic people, a lot of abusers, a lot of manipulators. And sadly, some of those will put you down to make you feel bad about yourself. So it does just that. It pushes you away from them because really they don't want to be with you in the first place, and they're not good guys for you, you know. And so it's like the asexual guy. A couple of years ago, I think it was now, the one that I had a relationship with online that never met in person. In the end, he started to say I was needy, but the fact was he had secrets that he was hiding from me that he didn't want to know about, and then he became controlling, you know. But of course, and he didn't call me needy until I told him that when he meets me, I would not be taking my top off. And all after that, he changed his behaviour. So what does that tell you? He obviously was sexual. He's supposed to be asexual, but yeah, but he obviously, you know, showing my body off sexually to him was more important to him than me, because he changed all his behavior after that. So, you know what I mean? These people who say you're needy, they just say that to manipulate you a lot of the time, to be horrible to you, to put you down, to make you feel bad about yourself. So don't take no notice of these people. They are not good people, you know? They are not good people. They are people you don't need to spend any time with. You don't need to waste your life on. Just by saying that, you can just say, "Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much you're telling me about yourself." And they'll be like, "Hey, what?" And I'll be like, "Well, just by calling me needy, you've told me a whole lot of stuff about yourself. And you saved me a lot of pain and aggro now in my life by not wanting to be with you anymore. Thanks so much. Bye." That's what you should say to those type of guys. Be on your way. You know, just by calling you that, they've actually ruled themselves out of your book as potential relationship people, because they're not good for you. You'll never ever be able to get on with them. Yes, exactly. So they have done you a favor. That's how you have to look at it. Switch it round. Think they've done you the best favor possible. You know, it's like these guys who talk about women moaning, right? Guys only ever say about women moaning to put them down, to make them feel bad, so that the women stop saying those things. Doesn't mean to say the women are wrong. Doesn't mean to say the women shouldn't be saying that. Doesn't mean to say the women haven't got a point. But the guy doesn't want to hear about it, so he'll put the woman down to make the woman feel bad about herself, to stop her doing it. It's a form of manipulation. That's what it is. It's just a form of manipulation and control. But because it makes the woman look bad, it makes the woman look like she's the problem. Actual fact, it's them that is a problem by saying that, because they shouldn't be saying stuff like that, you know? It's just because you're saying something you don't like. I mean, guys, you know, some guys, they traditionally, they still want women to be quiet. They want women to shut up, to not speak their mind, to not say what they think, to not be bold and brave in that way. So in order to silence a woman, they'll put the woman down so that you keep quiet, so that you don't shine your light. And all you have to do is think these guys are not for you, wish them well, and say, thank you very much for telling me about yourself. I really appreciate that. Bye bye. So yeah, just think that every time a guy says, if at any time a guy says that, just think, thank you for showing me your true colours. Thank you for showing me exactly the type of person you are. Someone who doesn't give a stuff about me, really, and be on your way. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, my relationship needs, like I said, I like contact, daily contact with the guy, and I want the guy to find the right guy for me who'll want that too. You know, the wrong guys, they won't like daily contact. They'll be feeling weird about it. They'll be thinking it's too much, it's overwhelming. They don't want this in their life, because they won't be the right guys for me, because they won't want me in their life. They won't want to hear from me. The right guy will be enthused to hear from me. He'll be like, wow, Sandra, like, she's working on this book now. I'm so happy that she's doing stuff. I feel like that's incredible. Like, tell me more about it. How's it going? You know, like, they'll be like, oh, you're doing a blog, you know, doing a blog now. Oh my goodness me, what do you blog about? You know, you're doing this now, you know, and they'll engage in conversation and ask me about my life, you know. What I do find difficult, Heather, to be honest, is I do tend to give guys some of my time, and that I think they think that I've just got endless amount of time. But if I give my time to a guy, like if I, for example, Skype date a guy, I'm actually giving up my precious time in my life, those few hours, to spend time getting to know him, to see about a possible relationship, when really I could be doing one other trillion and one things, you know. And I have learned in coaching, we shouldn't stop doing what we do for guys, you know, that sometimes, because we like a guy a lot, as women, especially because we're emotional in general, as we like a guy a lot, we might kind of like leave some of our own stuff we usually do for them and give them more attention, whereas we should really put it back on ourselves and carry on doing our own thing more, and take the emphasis off the guys more. So I found that out. But, you know, I want a guy who'll really recognize if I give him some hours of my time, or even minutes messaging him, that actually that time is precious, and value the fact that I'm a busy person, but I'm giving that because I know in order to have a relationship with someone, or even develop friendships with people, I've got to put some time in with them. You know, at the moment I haven't even done a blog for a while, because I'm working on my fibre book, and people are in pain and they need this fibre book. So, like, I haven't done an asexual newsletter for a while. I haven't done an asexual blog post for a while. I haven't even done I've got 2 other blogs that I blog on. I haven't even done a blog on there for a while. I maintain and do this channel every single day for you guys, because asexuality is the most important thing aside from writing. And it's important that I have regular contact with you, and that I keep in touch with you guys all the time. But, you know, there's a lot more stuff that I need to get done, like things that are not so pertinent, because at the end of the day, my fibro book's going to be able to reduce people's pain in their life on a daily basis, and that to me is more of a priority than me writing a blog post at the moment. Do you see what I mean? Like, people writing fibro groups, for example, you know, they feel like dying. I don't want them to experience that anymore. You know, I don't feel like that. I'm completely different because of everything I do with managing 25 different aspects of my life. You know, I don't even think about them being 25 different aspects, but it's in the book as 25 different aspects. But, you know, I just do all this stuff naturally, you know, don't even think about it. But you know, I know that that's the most important thing to do, you know. And I've still got people that, you know, some people I message back you know, quicker than others. But I mean, generally at the moment, a lot of people know that I'm offline a lot to do my book anyway. Even my friends, they know that I'm not quite, you know, I'm not as regularly in messaging at the moment, because I'm busy doing my own thing. You know, this book is so important, I need to get it out. So, you know, I think a good person for you won't ever speak about things like that, Heather. And if a guy's saying that, just think he's shown his true colours to you, and be thankful so much that you can let him on his way, because he is no good for you. I know that you are a very talented, very successful lady, and that you're very kind-hearted as well, and any guy should be lucky to have you. And I think if you find the right guy, he'll be your best friend, and he'll adore you for who you are, and he'll like you for being different, like a guy will like me for being different. And in the meantime, we can self-date ourselves, I tell you, and we can give ourselves the most wonderful self-date time, you know? To be honest, I think I'm having much more of a ball dating myself than I am with any other guy at the moment, you know? I'm thinking, gosh, Sandra, what a good life you can have when you just date yourself. You can go out, take yourself to places, do what you want, when you want, cheer yourself up, make yourself happy. You know, I'm thinking it's not like this in any relationship I've been with in the past, you know, it's like a struggle. When I date myself, there's no struggle there. It's just pure bliss and happiness, you know? And because I've gone back to writing now, which is my life purpose, I'm just really happy now, like all the time, a lot more, you know? I'm like, whoa, this is great. So I just say plan more energy into your artwork, Heather, and everything you love to do, and date yourself, and you know, get your self-esteem up a bit as well, you know, and get your confidence up even more, and just sing how wonderful and awesome you are, you know? I think it's because you're different like me that you find it harder in life. But you know, I've got to a stage now in my life that I absolutely love my difference. You know, my difference is my beauty, as it is all asexuals. I know you're not asexual, but you know, you're different type of person. You know, it's not just asexuals; it's just different. I mean, people who've got fibre are different. You know, they don't realise the superpowers that fibre can give them, which is what I'm going to be talking about in the book. You know, fibromyalgia can give you superpowers. It's given me superpowers beyond belief. You know, that I love. You know, I've got a lot to be thankful for with having fibro, which people won't say that. People won't say that about fibro. They never do. But I'm so much happier since I've had the condition than before I had it. So, you know, I can't say anything bad about that, really. You know, yes, it can cause a lot of issues and problems, but because I manage it so well, it's not such a big deal, you know? So yeah, just keep being you, Heather. Keep being wonderful you. And every time a guy says that, think, no, next one, you know, and find a guy that you can be best friends with, you know, bestest ever friends with. It's hard, you know, because I've got some guys in my life that I'm best friends with that are still not suitable for relationships. So that is hard. I think it's hard when you really become really good friends with a guy or guys, and then you have, you know, none of them are relationship material. But you know, I like guys better in general than women overall. I know you're woman, Heather, and I love you to bits, you know, and there are a few other women in my life, excuse me, that I respect, that I care about, that I love as my friends, you know, that, you know, not every single person I like in the world as or is a guy. But in general, a lot of my closest friends offline, for example, they are the majority, not all of them, the majority of them are guys, you know. I get on better with guys as friends, but in a relationship, it's a different story. Usually, guys as friends are amazing, but when it starts getting to relationship, something weird happens. I don't know what happens, but it's like they completely changed. And I'm like, hang on a minute, because in the past, it's like they share all their secrets with you. They're quite open. Then when you get into a relationship with them, they like change on you, and they feel like they're going more distant and they're going all weird. And it's like, what the heck is this? Where did our friendship go? You know, so sometimes I think it's just better to stay single. You know, at the moment, I've got my career to think about. I've got wonderful things like in ahead of me. I think and sense there's going to be big changes in my life to come in the next few years, this year included. I just feel things are going to be different for me. I feel like I'm going through things this year to prompt me to change a lot, and I hope it happens, you know. And I think the guy probably who is right for me, I just haven't met yet because I'm not in the right place in my life. But I mean, the good thing about being single is I can just literally take off if I wanted to. I mean, I haven't got any ties apart from Angel, my gorgeous baby angel girl, guinea pig. She lives with my parents. She's 3, but I love her and I do want to be near her, you know, because she's diabetic, blind, and I like to see her, you know. But you know, the world's my oyster, really, apart from I don't fly on a plane. So UK is my oyster, you know. But you know, there's a certain advantages to being single, you know. Once you're in a relationship, you're tied to that person. You're kind of like, unless a person will move with you, you're tied to the location with them. You know, you know, you're really just with one person forever. And if I'm in a relationship thinking, I could think that's really great. But at the moment, I'm just thinking I'm better off single, actually. You know, I haven't met any guy at the moment that's suitable for me. any guy. They're just not. Every guy is just not right for me to be in a relationship with. I haven't met the right guy yet. So until I meet the right guy, I think I'm better off single. And I don't even know if I'm meant to be single forever, because I find it difficult to ever be in a relationship with a guy. I kind of lose myself, to be honest. I think it's very difficult to maintain your own individuality yourself when you're in a relationship. I find that very difficult. I find the two don't go together. Sometimes I'm more swayed toward a relationship. At the moment, I'm more swaying towards non-relationship, towards being single, towards being happy. I just want to be honest, if I could write 24/7, 365 days a year and not do anything else but just write and earn a full-time living from writing, apart from obviously with these videos, obviously I'll still be doing asexual stuff because I'll be writing for asexuals obviously as well, then I just make me so happy. You know, when I'm writing, I'm not so fussed about a relationship. It's really weird. It's like writing is definitely my life purpose because I'm calmer when I do that. When I'm writing, I don't bother me if I don't hear from guys for a while. It doesn't bother me if I'm not out socializing as much. It doesn't bother me if I'm not doing things outside my home as much. I like to be at home and just focus on my writing and my books. I'm quite happy. As I like listening to music at the same time usually as well. So I feel quite good, you know, doing stuff. So when you've had guys like that, Heather, I would just like literally think to yourself, well, thank you for sharing that. Obviously, you're not the right guy for me. It means that I can spend more time now on not even thinking about you, moving on with my life, getting on with all my projects, getting on with all the exciting stuff and loving life, you know, which you should do. You're beautiful. Don't ever forget that. You're gorgeous. I know you won a cup the other day, didn't you? Heather won a cup, everyone. I saw it on her Facebook. It was amazing. I'm like, my God, it's so huge. Sorry if you are a Christian and I just took the Lord's name in vain. My gosh, it's so huge, you know. And I thought, congratulations to you. Not many men have done stuff like that and won big cups like that, I bet, either. You know what I mean? Sorry to any guys, you know, I don't mean to offend any guys on there because there are really good guys in the world as well. I've just said that I'm friends with a lot of guys, but you know, I think it's really important. Have a good night. I didn't win it. You didn't win it. Oh, you didn't win it. Well, anyway, I know you're awesome, Heather. So just keep smiling, keep being you, because I've seen your artwork and it is incredible. And I want you to know that it is absolutely incredible. You are very talented, very special person, and I love the fact you're different. Your difference is your beauty, so don't ever forget that. And yes, I'm going to sign off for tonight. It's been lovely to talk to you. I hope you're feeling better now. Don't let these people, guys who speak to you like that, like worry you. Just let them go on their way. You know, I know you've got a lot of stuff in your life, you know, a lot of things that fill your cup up, a lot of things you're good at, you know, so don't worry about this type of person. Good. Just say thank you for sharing. Off you go. You're not right for me. Anyway, I love you lots, Heather. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks everyone else for tuning in, watching, giving this video a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Please share it if you think anyone else will benefit. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new to this channel. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Heather. Take care. Lots of love. Lots of love, everyone else.